Hello everybody! Have you ever wondered how to join the actors union SAG AFTRA? Wondered when you should join? I'm about to reveal the exact roadmap that can transform your acting career from amateur to professional. And trust me, you're going to want to catch all of this info, whether you've already joined the union or not. First things first, let's clear up some confusion. SAG AFTRA isn't just a union. It's basically the golden ticket to professional acting opportunities, the kinds of roles most actors really want. That includes almost all of the television shows that we watch on streaming services and all the movies that we go to see in theaters. But here's the million-dollar question. How exactly do you get your foot in the door? Well, there are currently 4 primary paths to becoming a SAG AFTRA member, and each one is a different adventure in your acting journey. The first path is what most actors dream about, simply booking a principal speaking role in a SAG AFTRA production. This means landing a role with a line of dialogue that actually moves the story forward. Now, that could be a TV show, it could be a film, it could also include a commercial as long as it has a SAG AFTRA signatory, or more commonly known as a union commercial. One magical principal role and boom, you're eligible to join. But here's the catch. This isn't as easy as it might sound. You'll need to nail an audition that not only secures you the role, but meets the union's specific criteria. And you'll need a document filed on your behalf called a Taft-Hartley report. Being Taft-Hartley'd as an actor means you are being allowed to work on a union SAG AFTRA project even though you are not yet a union member. This happens when a production hires a non-union actor for a union role and then submits a Taft-Hartley report to justify their position. There's a fee that must be paid by production whenever a non-union actor is hired. So for that reason, it's not really all that common. However, if it does happen, here's what it means for you, practically speaking. You are treated as a union actor for that specific job, meaning you'll get union pay rates, protections, and benefits for that project. The production must justify hiring you, though. The producer must explain to SAG AFTRA why they hired you over an existing union actor. So like the typical reasons are you possess a unique talent beyond good acting, you have a very distinctive look, special skills, or it was a last-minute casting, that sort of thing. Now, once you're Taft-Hartley'd, you're placed on SAG AFTRA's eligibility list, meaning you can now join the union if you choose. Excellent. After being Taft-Hartley'd, you can work one more union job without joining. However, after your second SAG AFTRA job, you must officially join the union to continue working union gigs. And if you don't want to join immediately, you can continue working non-union jobs while being SAG eligible until you decide to join. This is commonly known as SAG-E. Actors are fairly familiar with this term, and I'd say most casting directors are as well. But producers are the ones who actually hire actors and make the final decision, and most of them haven't heard of it. A producer who works on union projects is used to working with union actors almost exclusively. They're not particularly concerned that you're eligible to join SAG AFTRA, but just haven't done it yet for whatever reason. I say this because a lot of actors are advised to delay joining the union as long as possible without really being given a reason. And they're also told that if they're SAG-E or eligible to join, that carries the same weight as having joined. And that's simply not true. Producers are typically penalized for hiring non-union actors, and it cuts into their production budget. You could be shooting yourself in the foot by thinking that the industry views SAG eligible the same as if you were a member. It does not. SAG eligible means you're not in the union. Casting directors will audition you based on relationships that you might have with them, seeing you in a workshop, or just really liking your picture in reel. They'll bring you in, but the chances of a producer hiring you over a union actor are extremely low. I'll cover when to join the union a bit later, but for now, know that simply not joining until you absolutely have to is a really bad idea, and it's very irresponsible advice to give actors. I hear it all the time and it drives me nuts. If you think you're competitive for union jobs, find the money and join. Now, as far as the industry at large is concerned, you're either a union actor or you're not. It's that simple. And being eligible means you're not. It means you still have to cough up the money, file your paperwork, and receive your membership number before you can show up on set. All of that would have to happen between your audition and your work date if you did get booked. So think about it. Why would a producer take the chance that you might not follow through on all of that? What if you didn't have the money to join when they needed to hire you? They'd be putting their job at risk when they could have hired a union actor and had it be much easier and face no risk at all. The second path is through background work, which is a bit of a slower burn. You'll need to work as a background actor enough to earn 3 vouchers from SAG AFTRA production. These vouchers are like golden tickets. They prove you've worked on union sets and demonstrate your professional commitment. Pro tip, these can be harder to collect than you might think. So you might have to schmooze and network, be professional, and just stay persistent. Once on set, try to clock who is giving the vouchers out. It's only going to be a handful of people, like the assistant director or background production assistant. Look for someone with that title. And then find a window when this person is not busy or stressed or engaged in something and ask about getting a voucher, typically earlier in the day. If they can't or won't give you one, be positive, smile, let it go, maybe next time. It doesn't hurt to ask, but diplomacy here is key. Otherwise, be reliable and cooperative while on set. Read the room. If things are tense, stay quiet, hang back. If the crew is joking, show some personality. Let them know you're alive. Every set is different, and every day on set is different. Being a cool team player can increase your chances of being selected for future roles and potentially getting those vouchers. The third path is for performers who are already members of sister unions like AFTRA in Canada, the Alliance of Canadian Cinema, Television, and Radio Artists, or other affiliated performance unions. That's how I joined. I became an AFTRA member with my first TV job when AFTRA was a separate union. I then joined SAG through my AFTRA membership, and then I had a membership in both. Since then, these two unions merged into SAG AFTRA and became one since they cover so much of the same work. If you're already a member in good standing of a sister union, you might be able to transfer your membership, which is basically like having a VIP pass into SAG AFTRA auditions. Other unions besides AFTRA are AEA, the Actors Equity Association, AGMA, the American Guild of Musical Artists, and AGVA, the American Guild of Variety Artists. The fourth path is through self-production, specifically using SAG AFTRA's SPA contract. Introduced in 2018, the Short Project Agreement, SPA, grants an avenue to join, whereas the micro-budget contract doesn't. In the explanation video on SAG AFTRA's own YouTube channel, they explicitly say performers can join the union under this contract. And there's a link to that explanation video below. You just need to do all the paperwork and make a short film. The project can't cost over $50,000, and it takes a couple of months to get everything approved. You have to turn in your cast list, your script, the date of delivery, shooting schedule, and all that stuff beforehand. Then after you wrap production and get all of your post-production paperwork approved, you're basically put on hold. You're not technically SAG eligible, but you can turn in your proof of work papers to the union, and typically you're able to join. You can hold on to the paperwork for as long as you want, but once you turn it in, you have to join the union in full. So there is no in-between stage of SAG-E, must join, waiting to join, etc. And please, don't be intimidated by the term short film. This can be accomplished by shooting a short piece over the weekend. If you have any questions about this step or any of the others I've listed, just refer to the SAG AFTRA website, or check out their FAQ YouTube channel, or pick up the phone and give them a call. They're super friendly and helpful, and they want you to join. Now, when should an actor seriously consider joining? First, if you book union work, you'll have to join after becoming SAG AFTRA eligible through one principal role or the 3 background vouchers. You have a 30-day grace period to work on union projects before becoming a must join. Then you must become a member to continue working in union productions. You should join if you want better pay and protections. Union jobs offer higher wages, residuals, health insurance, pension contributions, and workplace protections. You should join if you're ready for bigger roles. Most major productions, TV, film, and some commercials are overseen by the union. Most casting directors prioritize union actors for auditions, since hiring a non-union actor would require that Taft-Hartley that I talked about earlier, extra paperwork and a penalty for production. Nobody wants to pay that. You should join if you want to avoid low-paying work. Joining means you can't work non-union jobs anymore unless they get a SAG AFTRA waiver. So joining will urge you to focus on those higher-paying union jobs, getting an agent or manager that'll submit you for the union projects, and up-leveling your career. You might want to wait to join if you're still gaining experience, if you're building your reel with indie films, student projects, or smaller roles. Staying non-union allows more flexibility and more opportunity to acquire on-set skills and footage that you're going to need moving forward. You might want to stay out if you haven't booked enough yet. If you're struggling to get cast, jumping into the union too soon might limit your opportunities. You want to feel confident that you are competitive at the professional level when you do join. You might want to stay out if you need more financial stability. SAG AFTRA dues are expensive, $3,000 plus to start, plus annual dues. If you're not making enough from acting or other financial resources, it might not be worth it to you to join. You might want to also stay non-union if you work in a market with more non-union work. Some regions, like smaller cities, have fewer union jobs, so staying non-union could mean more opportunities for you to work. Now, here are 2 other entities that I want you to know about. The SAG AFTRA Foundation and the SAG AFTRA Conservatory are both incredible resources. Let me break down the difference between these 3 intertwined but separate organizations. SAG AFTRA is the actual union that negotiates contracts and projects for actors' rights. The SAG AFTRA Foundation is a separate nonprofit that provides educational resources, emergency financial assistance, and career development programs. The Conservatory is SAG AFTRA's educational arm, offering workshops, classes, and professional training opportunities. The Foundation is not funded by union dues, and you do not need to be a member to take advantage of its free workshops, screenings, and professional development resources. The training through the Foundation can be an absolute game changer for your career. All the courses and classes are taught by industry professionals. I've taught there. I highly suggest registering for a free Foundation account ASAP. I have links to all of this below. Some of their offerings are virtual, so you can partake in at least some of them from anywhere in the world. Joining SAG AFTRA also gives you access to the Conservatory. Separate from the Foundation, the Conservatory provides further training opportunities for a small fee. Here is their mission statement. The SAG AFTRA Los Angeles Conservatory Committee works on a local level to facilitate, encourage, and empower all local SAG AFTRA members to expand their knowledge and advance their career objectives through educational programs overseen by dedicated industry professionals. I've also taught at the Conservatory. The Conservatory offers members a means to nurture their talent, business acumen, and craft to sharpen and broaden their skill sets in varied forms of production and performance. The goal is to provide a pathway to build and maintain a sustainable career. Now, I shared that with you because I know a lot of actors think of joining the union as an obstacle to overcome or a costly burden to bear. And that's so not the case. It's a privilege to be a member of SAG AFTRA, and it ultimately pays for itself and then some. Throughout the year, Conservatory members will find classes to cover topics such as voiceover, improv, social media, business of the business, commercial, theatrical, contracts, and many, many more. The Conservatory also offers a monthly actors evening, moderated panels composed of casting directors, working members, showrunners, producers, SAG AFTRA staff, agents, and casts of various shows. And each year, the conservatory coordinates a special intensive weekend, which begins with an opening night panel of industry professionals, followed by 2 days jam-packed with workshops and panels. Yeah, $3,000 is a large membership fee, but the pros of union membership are massive. We're talking about minimum wage guarantees, residual payments, health and pension benefits, workplace protections, and access to top-tier auditions that non-union actors can only dream about. It's like having a professional shield that protects your artistic and financial interests. And you start making your money back immediately if you choose to involve yourself in the union and explore what it has to offer you. It's not just about booking work, it's about joining a very special community of people who choose an artistic path through life. My final tip: the decision about when to join is yours alone, and you shouldn't compare your situation with anyone else's. I reviewed some of the basic guidelines, but each of us must ask individually if the time for us is right. I don't think everyone should rush to join the union, but I know from firsthand experience in casting that staying out until you have to join is a really negative mindset. So do whatever you feel is best. If and when you do join, take advantage of all the services, classes, and panels SAG AFTRA and the conservatory have to offer, as well as the foundation. But you have to reach out to all of these three separately. Between them, you can get $3,000 worth of classes back within just a year, even if you don't book a job. And FYI, if you're at all interested in joining SAG AFTRA, start reviewing their website now. It's huge, and it has tons of helpful information. Yeah, it's a little dry, but it's the stuff you should know. I think too many actors join and never even consider what the membership offers you back in return. So do your research. What should you do until you're eligible? You should train like crazy. Take classes, build your skills, create your own content, and network relentlessly. Remember, you're not just growing your talent base, you're becoming an independent contractor, a small business owner. Learn everything you can about building a successful business from the ground up. And if you found this video helpful, smash that like button, subscribe, and drop a comment about where you are in your acting journey. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'll do my best to answer. And until next time, keep chasing your dreams. Gunner, out. Please hit like and subscribe to help build a global community of artists. And check out the links below. I love you.